Open yourself to the universe, Commander. Embrace eternity.
I hope Jenny learned their lesson.
It's nice to finally get the support we deserve.
We'll start over. What else can we do?
Alright, welcome back to Mass Effect 1. Last time we defeated the Thorian finally, but now just gonna go ahead and get some extra dialogue with the colonists that we have saved.
I was hoping you'd have a moment to speak with me. I've got a bit of a problem.
What do you need?
I need to retrieve some data. It's not a big job, but it pays well.
Okay. Looks like bitch work to me, but whatever.
Sounds easy enough. What's the catch?
No catch, really. It's dangerous work, but not for someone like you.
What is it about you that makes people assume we enjoy being in harm's way?
It's not that bad, really. All you need to do is find my console at Exogeny headquarters and drop the data onto this OSD. It's that simple.
No, I'm not going back there.
I'm not interested in this.
All right. Just remember.
Nope. I don't care.
Hopefully everyone leaves us alone for a while.
Frames are dipping.
Learn from this.
Alright. Yeah, I hope they do as well. Alright, let's talk to this
I
guy.
never thought I would be so thrilled to see a soldier. Forgive my previous inaction, but under the Thorian's influence, every thought was examined and filtered.
Let me see what you have in stock.
Of course. Return in the future, and I may even have more to see.
That... what is it? That Solarian has a huge jawline. Shotgun. I have nowhere near enough money to purchase it. That's too bad. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back on over to the Normandy. And where we can continue on this journey.
Thank you for freeing us. I can think without pain. Thank you. You've given us a second chance. It's nice to have more mundane worries, like getting that water flowing again.
I could bring in what you need with the Normandy.
That would only help us in the short term, unless you plan to make a trip every few days. We need to be self-sufficient.
I'll look into it if I have time.
I'd appreciate that, Commander.
I should go.
I wish you luck.
I guess I didn't do all those side quests. Must have forgotten. Alright, I'm assuming this is a way to get back to the Normandy. Where's the map at? Vehicle, no. Free point of interest. Yeah, that's it right there. Looks like we're heading the right way. It seems a little bit awkward the way they have it. This is Mass Effect 1, released in 2007. So, yeah. Okay, never mind. Here we are. That was simple enough, actually. But we can move on, nonetheless. And we are in dire need of some more Medigel, unfortunately. So, we will probably have to stop by the Citadel to see if we can pick anything up, any supplies up.
Stand
Head
by,
back home.
shore party. Decontamination in progress.
But yeah, like I said in the previous episode, the last time I had continued this series was in about November, quite a few months ago. And
Are you okay,
cutscene.
Commander? You look a little pale.
It's that damn cipher. That Asari messed you up good. And for what? We still don't know where to find the stupid conduit. What a waste.
She said it could take a while. I needed the cipher. It's going to lead us to the conduit. I'm just not sure how yet.
We still have another lead, Commander. That Asari scientist in the Artemis Tau cluster, the Matriarch's daughter. She's an expert on the Protheans. Maybe she knows something.
Don't worry. We'll deal with her soon enough. Crew dismissed.
What?
I've sent off the Ferris report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Sure, why
Patch him
not?
through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, ExoGeni should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
The Thorian liked to enslave minds. Anyone who studied it would have ended up as one of its thralls.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Disconnect. I do feel like that, but I will use words
Being
instead
human
of,
had
you know.
nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Commander.
I will.
We will be waiting for your next report.
I know what it's foreshadowing for. Unfortunately, I cannot spoil it. Or I can, but I don't want to. But yeah. Alright. Loading. One of the bad parts about playing on console. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and go talk to Joker. Point defense systems. Nah, screw let's talk to Navigator Presley as well.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Yeah, they're on our side.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
I'm in charge here, Presley. I decide if we have non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Good, you got
Carry
the
on,
message.
Yes, sir.
Renegade +2 and Paragon +2. In Mass Effect 3, that wouldn't be possible to choose, those two different options in one scene. But anyway.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
That's a good statement.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
Okay. Joker is definitely a little bit too arrogant.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Alright. I hope you guys paid attention to that animation. He's talking with us and making motions, but only his neck and head are moving. His body is staying perfectly static. Alright.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
Pedal Joker, alright.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Aww.
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Joker is an asshole in Mass Effect 1.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
I have to go.
Alright.
Alright, see ya.
Well, looks like we got ourselves a crew conversation video now. Alright, well, go ahead and go to the lower bay docking area to talk with the other members of the crew. So, oh, and also, Mass Effect 1 had, instead of loading screens in situations like this, it had elevators. But there are people up here that we should talk to first.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
Disgusting.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is trading people to aliens for some kind of lost knowledge. But we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
I hear you. I hear you.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Back in Bot, spelled with a capital B, capital A, lowercase a, and capital T. I wonder what it stands for.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance.
Oh, well, there we go.
Past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
So is that 2063? 2163? I don't know the exact time frame.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Huh.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Well, hold on. According in the game's history, didn't humans discover the Mass Effect relays in 2153? So this time frame doesn't really match up too well. Unless they did discover, just didn't know how to use it yet? I don't...
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey, her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
What kind of question is that?
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Alright, sounds good. Let's see who else is up here, down here. What? Personal manual. Codex. I don't want to read the codex. Don't want to go through it anyway. To try to find one specific thing. Pistol. Sure, why not? Whatever. Ooh, and we got one.
You need, Commander?
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Sleeper pod. Codex. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything is over here. And the med bay is right here, I believe. Let's go ahead and see what's up with Dr. Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Kaiden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
So he's using obsolete, non-safe biotic amps. That doesn't sound too good.